Sony Mobile Communications is a transnational company, one of the divisions of Sony Corporation, specializing in the production of smartphones and other portable devices and accessories. Little is known about Sony phones released before 2001. Some of them were produced for the Japanese and Chinese markets. Some were produced by third-party manufacturers such as Siemens and Bosch. Sony was a marginal player in the worldwide mobile phone market with a share of less than 1% in 2000. From 2001 to 2012, Sony, together with the Swedish Ericsson, produced mobile phones under the Sony Ericsson brand. A video about these devices was published earlier on our channel. Since 2012, all products by Sony Mobile have been in the Xperia range and running. The Android OS, the Xperia X10 model launched in 2010, was the first to feature this. Although in 2012 the phones already carried the Sony brand on them, they were still, mostly, developed by Sony Ericsson, as can be seen from the green logo on the back of handsets like the Xperia S and Xperia T. The lineup in 2013 brought an entirely different design of phones. First seen on the Xperia Z smartphone, and called Omni Balance, roughly translated as Balance Everywhere, by Sony. In 2014, Sony stated to be focusing more on the high-end phone market and reducing the number of low and mid-end products. In 2016, Sony introduced the Xperia X series to replace the Z series. The last device to launch under the Xperia X series was the Xperia XZ3. A flagship device released in late 2018 featuring an OLED display, a first for Sony smartphones. Then it got replaced by the number series introduced on the Xperia 1 in 2019. In this video, we will show you the evolution of Sony mobile phones, including devices for the Japanese market. Next to some models there will be inserts from advertising videos. 1989. CP201. (1991) CMH1. HP211. (1993) CMH333. This was the first commercially available mobile phone from Sony. It was nicknamed the Mars Bar because of its size and weight. It became one of the most desirable handsets of its time and was the first to come with a sliding earpiece that moved up and down to answer and end calls. CMH355. CMR111 was a unique design that saw the Japanese phone maker achieve further levels of miniaturization. It had no display but used a sequence of audible beeps and 3 LEDs to indicate the phone's status. 1994. CMD100 was manufactured by Siemens for Sony. It is similar to the Siemens S1. It was one of the first GSM phones offered by Sony. CMH444. CMD200. CMR222, TH241, HD200, HP231, T206. (1995) TH251, HD20S. 1996. CMR-X100 has a swing-out mic arm on side that can be used to answer hang-up calls. Original price was $500 US. TH261, HD40S. 1997. CMD-X1000 was a variant of the Siemens S4. Siemens manufactured the phone on behalf of Sony. CMD-X2000. CMD-Z1, CMD-Z1 Plus, CMM1300, TH271, HD50S, 511G. 1998. CMZ100 digital version of Sony's flagship RX100 phone with flip-down microphone. TH281, HD60S. HD61S 527G. $1999. CMD C1, CMZ 200, CMD C8, TH 291, D205S 534G, C101S. $2000. CMD CD5, CMD J16, essentially a J5 for the Chinese market. CMD J26, CMD Z5, CMD J5, CMD Z18, CMD Z28, C305S. Diva C404S Music mobile phone compatible with Magic Gate memory stick. C406S, you can tell who the other person is by the color of the light. Multicolor incoming call LED. 705G. $2001. CMD J6 was widely regarded as an extremely easy phone to use as a result of Sony's intuitive menu design. It featured a jog dial to navigate the menu and a physical switch on the side of the device to lock the phone. CMD MZ5 was described by Sony as a music cellular phone. It was first Sony phone to support an expandable memory card via a Sony memory stick. CMD J7. CMD J70, though it carried the Sony name. The manual carried the new Sony Ericsson branding. CMD Z7. C413S, equipped with Bluetooth. Direct communication is possible between C413S. So210i Hyper. So502 IWM. So503i. From 2001 to 2012, Sony, together with the Swedish Ericsson, produced mobile phones under the Sony Ericsson brand. (2012) Xperia Ion LTE, available on AT as Sony Xperia Ion LT28 AT. Also known as Xperia Ion LTE LT28i, was the first Xperia smartphone to be branded as a Sony rather than a Sony Ericsson device. Xperia Ion HSPA, also known as Xperia Ion LT28H. Xperia S, also known as Sony Ericsson Xperia Nozomi. Sony Ericsson Arc HD was a bold product decision by Sony. Xperia P, previously known as Sony LT22i Nippon. Xperia U, previously known as Sony Ericsson ST25i Kumquat. Xperia Sola, previously rumored as MT27i Pepper. Xperia Neo L, also known as Sony MT25i. Xperia GX So04D for Japan. Xperia SX So05D for Japan. Xperia Go, it delivered a striking design combined with water resistance and a highly durable scratch-resistant mineral glass display. It was certified with an IP67 dust and water resistance rating. Xperia Acro S, also known as Sony LT26W. Xperia Miro was described by Sony as a slim and stylish smartphone. Xperia Tipo, also known as Sony Tapioca. Sony ST21i. Xperia SL. Xperia T, also known as Sony LT30P. The Bond phone for O2 UK. Xperia TX. Xperia J, also known as Sony ST26i. Xperia V, also known as Xperia AX on NTT Docomo and Xperia VL on KDDI. 2013. Xperia 8. Xperia E. Xperia Z. Xperia ZL, released as Sony Xperia ZQ in Brazil. Xperia SP. Xperia L. Xperia ZR. Xperia M was designed to bring Sony experiences to a new market and price point. Sony was aiming to bring the features from some of its high-tier products to lower-priced products with phones like the Xperia M. Xperia C was a device targeted at the Chinese market. It was considered a success by Sony, shipping over 1 million units in its first 3 months of availability. Xperia Z Ultra. Xperia Z1, also known as Sony Xperia Z1 Hanami. Xperia UL-SOL22 40D. Xperia Feet Hatsune Miku. (2014). Xperia Z1 Compact. Xperia Z1S for T-Mobile. Xperia T2 Ultra featured a 6-inch HD display and at launch was described by Sony as a large-screen smartphone for entertainment on the go. Xperia E1. Xperia A2. Xperia Z2. Xperia M2 was a mid-range Android phone which, at 8 and 6 mm thick, Sony claimed was the slimmest 4G smartphone in its class when it was announced. Xperia T3, it was notable for the stainless steel frame around the sides of the device. Xperia Z2A or Xperia ZL2 for OKDDI, 20.7 megapixels high-resolution camera that can also shoot 4K. Xperia C3, a notable feature of this phone was the ability for users to double-tap the back cover of the phone to activate the shutter on the front-facing camera. Xperia M2 Aqua. Xperia Z3. Xperia Z3 Compact. Xperia Z3V for Verizon. Xperia E3. (2015). Xperia J1 Compact. Xperia A4. Xperia E4. Xperia E4G was an entry-level Android phone with 4G LTE connectivity. Xperia M4 Aqua, as denoted by its name. The device was waterproof, as well as being dust-resistant. Xperia C4 featured a PRO selfie 5-megapixel front-facing camera with a 25mm wide-angle lens. It incorporated a variety of other Sony features such steady-shot technology that compensated for any camera shake. The phone also featured a 13-megapixel rear-facing camera. Xperia Z3 Plus. Xperia C5 Ultra. This was the first time dual 13-megapixel cameras had been included in a smartphone. Xperia Z4. Xperia Z4V for Verizon. Xperia M5. Xperia Z5 appears in the James Bond 007 movie Spectre. It is used by Bond to call Moneypenny while driving his Aston Martin DB10 in Rome. Xperia Z5 Compact. Xperia Z5 Premium. (2016) Xperia XA. Xperia XA Ultra. Xperia X. Xperia X Compact. Xperia X Performance. Xperia E5. Xperia XZ. (2017) Xperia XZ Premium was the first mobile phone to have a 4K HDR display. Xperia XZs. Xperia L1. Xperia XA1. Xperia XA1 Ultra. Xperia XA1 Plus. Xperia XZ1. Xperia XZ1 Compact. Xperia R1 Plus for India. (2018) Xperia L2. Xperia XA2. Xperia XA2 Plus. Xperia XA2 Ultra. Xperia XZ2. Xperia XZ2 Compact. Xperia XZ2 Premium. Xperia XZ3. (2019) Xperia L3. Xperia 10, previously known as Sony Xperia XA3. Xperia 10 Plus. Xperia 1, previously known as Sony Xperia XZ4. Xperia 5. Xperia Ace SO02L. Xperia 8. (2020) Xperia 8 Lite. Xperia L4. Xperia 10 2. Xperia 1 2. Xperia 5 2. Xperia Pro. (2021) Xperia 10 3. Xperia 5 3. Xperia 1 3. Xperia 10 3 Lite. Xperia Pro I. Xperia Ace 2. Xperia Ace 3. (2022) Xperia 10 4. Xperia 1 4. Xperia 5 4. (2023) Xperia 10 5. Xperia 1 5. Xperia 5 5. (2024) Xperia 10 6. Xperia 1 6. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe to the channel.